Yo, what's good everybody? It is your average tech bro here today. Now, I know some of you are gonna be like, yo, D Breezy, yo, D Money, what is the secret, easy way to get that job offer at these major tech companies like Google, Facebook, and everything else? Tell me, please tell me the secret.
Ravioli, ravioli, give me the formuloli.
And don't worry, your boy, I got you. We all know just how hard it is to get a full-time job offer at Google because those interviews be no joke, you know? But there's actually one easier way to go through the interview process to land that full-time job offer at Google and any other major tech company that you want. And the way you do that is by getting an internship first.
Man, stop playing with me!
I know that's probably not the answer that you're looking for, but hear me out. The reason why getting an internship is the easiest way to land a full-time job offer at Google and any other major tech company is because when you are an intern at these big tech companies, at the end of your internship, there is oftentimes a chance for you to get a full-time job offer if you performed well during the interview season during those 3 months that you were working there. And the interview process for these internship positions are oftentimes way easier than the full-time positions for this very same role. Oftentimes the questions are a lot easier, they're a little bit simpler, and oftentimes there are also much less rounds of interviews that you have to go through. This is just an anecdotal example, but back in the day when one of my friends got an internship at Facebook, all he had to do was do 2 rounds of interviews, and they were both just simple phone screens. Whereas for myself, when I went through the full interview loop at Facebook for a full-time job offer and not an internship offer, I had 1 technical phone screen and then I had 3 rounds of on-site interviews for a total of 4 rounds of interviews. I'm not a math major, but last time I checked, 2 interviews is less than 4. So that must be easier. And on top of that, interns almost never get a system design interview question during the interview process because that's typically something that they reserve for the more senior engineers out there. And the reason why I'm not saying internship interviews never get system design interviews is because I do not want a very angry commenter trying to clap my cheeks in the rare scenario that during an internship interview that they got asked a system design question. So I will not be talking in absolutes and saying never, but I will say it's very unlikely that during your internship interview process that you will get a system design question, which is a pretty hard question, and in my opinion, the hardest part of any type of full-time technical job interview at one of these big tech companies. And I know some of you right now are gonna be like, oh my god bro, getting an internship at these companies must be so easy. Just because interviewing for the internship is easier than interviewing for the full-time job offer doesn't mean it's easy at all. It is still pretty hard. I mean, like take this for example. I'm trash. Just because I decide to shower one day and put on deodorant for the first time in my life doesn't make me not trash. I'm just trash that smells good. The same thing goes for the internship and the job recruiting interview cycle. The internship interviews are gonna be still pretty hard, like baseline hard, but they will be easier compared to the full-time job interviews. So they will still take a lot of preparation and a lot of grinding and a lot of practice to make sure that you excel in these interviews. Getting the interviews for these internships as well as succeeding on these interviews is always gonna be hard no matter what, and I know just how hard it can be, and that is actually why I started a career consulting program at buymeacoff.ee/dohyunkim, where you can book some one-on-one time on my calendar and we can actually go over your resume and I can provide a little bit of career advice on how to approach the interview prepping process and as well as how to succeed in the job recruiting process as well. Also, if you don't like that live one-on-one stuff, I actually offer a pre-recorded class at this link down below where I talk about literally everything I know about the job recruiting process, and I go over real cover letters, real resumes, and I give real interview tips to make sure that you have a successful job recruiting cycle. So if you're interested in securing the bag and doing well on these internship interviews or these full-time job interviews at the end, definitely check out these 2 links. I'll include them down in the description down below. Also, being an intern at these major tech companies is like literally so chill. It is so much fun. You're literally coming in with 0 expectations of work. You are coming in with everyone else knowing that you have absolutely 0 knowledge about what you're gonna do, and you are gonna be getting paid like $20,000 to $30,000 for 3 months just to learn. And the great part about being an intern at one of these tech companies is the fact that you honestly have a really fun time, and the internship coordinators at these major tech companies make sure that they plan a ton of fun activities and events for you and your fellow interns to go to, as well as setting up like talks with really high-up executives at these major tech companies as well. Fun fact, but when I was an intern at Microsoft, they actually hosted an entire concert and party exclusively for the interns. And somehow I actually ended up seeing Pitbull live just performing for a bunch of these like software engineering interns. You already know I saw Mr. 305, Mr. Worldwide performing live, and honestly I was kind of prepared to be kind of underwhelmed, but like he was actually really good. So you know, shout out to Pitbull, shout out to Mr. Worldwide, shout out to Mr. 305. Now don't get me wrong, the internship is not all fun and games, and you actually still do have to do a little bit of work because that return offer to come back for a full-time job offer at the end of your internship is not necessarily guaranteed, and it's oftentimes really contingent on how you perform during your internship. So you can't just be chilling, hanging out with Satya Nadella and people doing absolutely no work every single day and expect to get a full-time job offer at the end of it. You actually have to do a little bit of work and make sure that you are checking in with your manager and making progress on the intern project that you are going to be handed at the beginning of your internship. But oftentimes these projects are scoped pretty well, and as long as you have good communication with your manager and your coworkers, and as long as you end up finishing this project by the end of your time there, you are almost guaranteed that full-time job offers. So it is a pretty foolproof way and a much easier way to get that full-time job offer at whatever dream company that you are looking for. So long story short, if you have a dream company that you want to work for and you want the easiest path to get that full-time job offer at that company, do not wait until that full-time job offer interview cycle. Rather, go for that internship interview cycle instead, because that internship interview cycle is going to be way easier than that full-time job offer interview cycle, and you also get to try out the company a little bit beforehand to see if it really is that dream company that you've been thinking of ever since you were a wee lad. Alright, so that is just about it for today's video, and I hope that you enjoyed the content or found it informative, and if you did, definitely do me a favor, hit that thumbs up button, and also definitely feel free to hit subscribe if you want to see more of my content as well. Once again, thanks so much for watching today's video, and I'll see you in the next one.